I'm saying they could. As in, like, it might happen. They should, because in my opinion they need to, or would, in terms of the club might do it. Okay. First off, we're going to go for alphabetical order in terms of team order. So we start off with Arsenal. Yes, the Gunners, who they come for a bit of a sticky situation. I mean, Arteta has been trusted by the likes of the Arsenal hierarchy to steer them through a difficult few games, and they've come through. Okay, they lost to Southampton in the FA Cup. That is disappointing in my opinion, because they're the FA Cup holders. They're not going to win the Premier League, not for at least another 5-6 years at least. That's just a given. But they would have been in possibly for top 4 this season, and definitely, in my opinion, should have been going all out to retain their FA Cup. That's their title, like Liverpool with the Premier League. But they're out the FA Cup now. It's done with. Move on from it. So I've got to adjust this line. It's not good, is it? There we go. That's better. Bear with. Sorry, we're using that many different lines here. That's not a good look, is it? There we go. That's a bit better. But he has had a bit of a clear out. Socrates has gone. Kolasinac, I think, has left. He let the young Saliba go on loan. He's let a lot of players leave. One player he hasn't let leave, and in my opinion, Arsenal would benefit from letting him go, or at least on loan, and the player should definitely be pushing for this move, and that is Nicolas Pepe. He is Arsenal's record signing, remember, £70-odd million. That is not pennies, that's not like 7 million or 17 million or 27 million, 70-odd million. And this lad has never done it. He reminds me a lot of Ousmane Dembele at Barcelona. Has, a flair play in an easy league. Okay, Dembele was doing it in Germany, but not for that long. If you think back, Dembele was at Borussia Dortmund. He was only there for a little bit, maybe a season or less than a season, I believe, after signing from a French team. I think it was at Lille in France. I might be wrong on that one. And he went to Barcelona. Sorry, Dortmund and then Barcelona. He's not worked for him at Barca. Same way he's not with a Pepe at Arsenal anywhere near the way he wanted it to, or they would have hoped that they would. It's been a disaster from minute one. So I think Pepe from Arsenal should be looking at a move and saying, look, can I have a loan? I want to go and play regularly. Look who's ahead of him right now. Martinelli when he's fit. Willian. Lacazette. Aubameyang. Smith Rowe. Okay, he's a different position, but he's still in an attacking position. I just think Pepe, Eddie Nketiah as well. And the other lad, there's a young lad in there who they're worried might leave this window. I forget his name off the top of my head. I apologise. So a lot of players ahead of Nicolas Pepe by the looks of it, and he should be looking to get that move. Aston Villa. Villa are having a great season. Yes, they lost recently to Man City, but overall a really good season for Villa. But in my opinion, Tom Heaton should be looking at moving. Okay, Tom Heaton was not that long ago in the England setup. He was one of England's first 3 keepers that they were picking for internationals. Tom Heaton had a bad injury at Burnley and lost his place to Nick Pope. Never really got it back. Went to Aston Villa. He was going to be Aston Villa's number 1, and then he picked up a bad injury at Villa, from what I remember. And then they brought in Pepe Reina last season, and now they've brought in Emilio Martinez, who is not going to lose his place in the Aston Villa team. No chance. Martinez will be the Villa keeper for the long term. So what is Tom Heaton going accept that his career is over. Tom Heaton, bear in mind, was one of the best keepers at the time when Burnley first came up into the Premier League. He was having great performances week in, week out. I don't think he should be accepting that that's it done with. I'm not saying Tom Heaton gets a move to a top Premier League team. Okay, so the dogs started playing up. Just got them bloody sorted. Let's continue. Tom Heaton, I think, needs a move. Maybe to a lower end Premier League team. Or maybe to, I mean, in all honesty, I think we're going to come on to another team in a bit when we get to them. I'll tell you who I think Tom Heaton could have gone to. I won't say just yet. Third on our list is Brighton. Now Brighton, they're struggling a little bit, ain't they? The problem with some of these teams, I don't know their fringe players too much and how much they're playing at the minute. But like I said, some of these players might just be ones I think should move. And not because they're not getting game time, but because I think they're good enough to move on. And the Brighton player I picked is Trossard, the Belgian. He is a top player, absolutely fantastic. Has scored some great goals since moving there a season or two ago. I think it was last season, I might be wrong. And he's definitely somebody who would not look out of place at an Arsenal, possibly at Tottenham. Around better players, he'd perform better. Definitely, I mean, Wolves is a step up from Brighton. I think he'd get in the Wolves team quite easily, and a fair few other teams as well. So is it Leandro Trossard? I think so. He's a very good player. Burnley. After ending Liverpool's unbeaten record at home, which should go on for like forever. It would seem forever. Burnley got the win. And there was down to Ashley Barnes' penalty, but also down to another man at the other end of the field. That man being Nick Pope. Yes, you got James Starkowski, Ben Mee, who are vital to the way Burnley defend. And that's why they were struggling so early in the season, because they had neither of them fit. You remember Burnley really struggled to get any points early on. But they're back now, and them two with Nick Pope are a formidable threesome. But I'm thinking Nick Pope, I'm not saying he will leave or Burnley will sell, but Nick Pope is better than a team staying up each season in the mid to bottom of the end of the table. Nick Pope is a top 10 goalkeeper easily. I'd go as far as to say a top, if you consider that now the top 8 teams in the Premier League are very good teams. It used to be like top 4 was your best, and everything else after that was crap. Now it's definitely your top at least 7 teams. Let's look. So United, Liverpool, City, Chelsea, Tottenham, that's 5. So United, Liverpool, City, Chelsea, Tottenham, yeah. Arsenal, Leicester, Everton, that's 8. Wolves, 9. Southampton, they're doing great this season, that's 10. West Ham even are a really good season. So you're looking at least half the Premier League have really good teams now, and having really good seasons. I don't think Nick Pope would have got a place at West Ham. Nowhere near. He'd improve them. He'd improve Southampton. He would improve, maybe not Wolves, I really like Rui Patricio. He'd improve Leicester. Or they wouldn't take a step back if you replace Schmeichel, let's put it that way. I think he's better than Jordan Pickford. I think Pope should be England's number 1. Therefore, he'll be Everton's number 1. So Nick Pope is my Burnley pick. At Chelsea, now this changes slightly, because Frank Lampard was sacked yesterday, and Thomas Tuchel has taken over. on the left. My other choice was Christian Pulisic, the player who has worked under Thomas Tuchel. Who's now coming in to Chelsea. Probably by tomorrow he'll be there. So I don't think Pulisic will be looking to leave. I think he'll be looking to get game time and get back to his best as he used to be under Thomas Tuchel. So my pick to go out on at least loan would be Callum Hudson-Odoi. Bayern wanted him. They didn't get him. But he definitely needs to go and get some game time if he's going to have any chance of reaching his potential. Crystal Palace. There's only one man. There only is ever one man. And that is Wilfried Zaha. I can't stand the bloke. He really irritates the crap out of me. But he is a really good player. And he would step in. Let's have a look who could step in. Do Man City need him? I don't think he'd hurt being a Man City. Stern on one side. I know they've got Mahrez, Bernardo Silva, and the other lad. Well, he's a striker into that Spanish lad. But yeah, I can see Zaha going in at Man City, Liverpool. They need to fresh from their front three, possibly. If Mane or Salah to leave, Zaha could step in. Chelsea, no, we just said they got three left-sided players. United, no. Tottenham, yes. It's not worked with Gareth Bale. Is Zaha possibly an answer at the end of the season? Possibly. Everton, I can't believe this bloke is still there. A move away at the end of the last transfer window, I think it was, fell through. And we've not seen him play in England in so long. And that is Yannick Palazzi. Back when Zaha was like not really making his breakthrough the first time round at Palace, but when they came back up, bloody pigeons up in the chimney. You had Zaha on one side, Yannick Palazzi on the other side, and Zaha's continued. Okay, still Palace, but he's continued to get better and better. Yannick Palazzi's career's just gone at the minute. It's a real shame because he is a very talented player, Yannick Palazzi. Yeah, right now, I'd be surprised if he'd get into a League One team, let alone a Premier League team. Fulham. Yep, we're going with Alexander Mitrovic. They signed him when they was in the Premier League the last time. And he was going to be their main man. Yeah, didn't really work out for him in the Premier League last time, and this time he seems nowhere near the starting lineup. You either go with Bobby Reed, I forget his full name now. They go with other players. It very, very rarely seems to be that they go with Alexander Mitrovic. So I'd say Mitrovic would potentially be looking at getting some game time somewhere and making the move. At Leeds, I said I'd come back to Tom Heaton, and here we are. Leeds United and Melier, their goalkeeper. I'm not saying he should move to get more game time. I'm saying Leeds United, if they want to stay in the Premier League, should be looking at moving Melier on. I don't think this lad is a Premier League quality goalkeeper. Just look at the size of the lad. I mean, I honestly thought when I've seen him in, I'd seen him little bits and pieces in the Championship, and then I forgot about the lad. When Leeds first came up, I think it was against Liverpool first game. I was like, how come they've got like their under 15 goalkeeper in nets? And clearly, he's not an under 15 goalkeeper. He's, an adult, but he's very small for a Premier League goalkeeper. And that is why I think they'd be wise to put in. So I'm just trying Champions League goal against Tottenham. Or the goal, no, it was the important goal when against, I think he might have scored against Spurs, but he also scored against Barcelona, was he? In the semi-final, wherever the hell it was. Divock Origi, I think it's about time the lad moved. I mean, Wolves were linked with him. West Ham need a striker. If he went out on loan for half a season, he could go and get himself a stack of goals, possibly. You never know. And then he'd be in the Belgian team for the Euros at the end of the season in good form. Manchester City, I've gone with a very recent signing of theirs, Nathan Ake. Why have I gone with Ake? It's quite simple, really. He was signed when Man City was struggling defensively. They had Laporte and Otamendi was leaving. They had John Stones, who had been out of favour for forever. So they brought in Nathan Ake. Now, they've got John Stones, who's in the best form of his City career. They've brought in Ruben Diaz, who has taken over as the mainstay at the back, especially whilst Laporte's injured. And Nathan Ake has gone from looking like he's going to be a regular in that defence to being, fourth choice now. I think, to be honest, if Ake might be, a regular alongside Laporte, maybe every now and again I'll be third choice. He's now fourth choice. Nathan Ake is. So definitely not where he expected to be this season at this point. So I think Nathan Ake should be thinking, let's get a move, let's go and play regular. Man United. And I've gone with the man who Fergie said when he signed him, this could be United's best ever signing and a future United captain. Yep, it's that man, Phil Jones. He's not a bad player. He's just not a Man United player. This lad would easily improve. I think he'd get in the West Ham team. West Ham down. So that's Southampton, West Ham downwards. I think he gets in their teams and probably improves them. I think it's a shame that somebody who was once an England international and talked up so highly is just not getting a game anywhere. I think it's a real shame. Same with Jesse Lingard. And I think it's only fair to let Phil Jones go. Let him go if he wants to go and resurrect his career. Let him go and do it and encourage him to do it. Newcastle. I've gone with Miguel Almiron. He's not lived up to the hype, has he? They've spent a lot of money on him by Newcastle standards. Rarely scores, doesn't really create much. I'd say let the lad go, sell him on, try and recoup some money and use that to bring in somebody who can actually at least stay in the Premier League. Sheffield United, and I have no idea for the life of me how the hell this lad is still a Premier League team. I don't really know what Chris Wilder sees in having him at the club. Makes no sense at all. But I've gone with Jack Rodwell. What a joke. This lad, I mean, look at his time at Sunderland, where they didn't want to play him. They didn't want to pay him either. And they was really struggling money-wise. I've watched Sunderland Till I Die on Netflix. They was really struggling money-wise. And he just kept saying, well, I want to get paid. I'm not moving. Why should I move? I've got a contract. Pay me. Jack Rodwell, from a promising Everton teenager to a waste of space on a football pitch in about 5 years. Southampton, I've gone with their long-standing striker. He's been a long time now. Shane Long. Now, I used to play FIFA quite regular. I haven't played in a few years now, but I did used to quite often. And in my FIFA, what the hell they call it, Ultimate Team, a cheap signing who had bags and bags and bags of pace for later on in the game was Shane Long. He was so fast. It's like, whoa, look at Shane go. Just sort of winding him like, now, be off. So I gone with Shane Long. I think he's never going to be Southampton. Is he happy to spend the rest of his career as backup to Shea Adams, Danny Ings, or whoever else they bring in? If he's happy to do that, then stay there. If you want a career, Shane, before it's too late, then move. And Tottenham, I've gone with Gareth Bale. I know he scored last night against Wickham, but I don't think it'd be too far-fetched to say Tottenham should cut his loan deal short. Now, in January, like they're looking to do with Gedson Fernandes, and let Bale go back to Madrid. Let him move on. I think he goes to America at the end of the season. I think he leaves Tottenham, goes back to Real Madrid, and they cancel his contract and he goes to MLS. He's not anywhere near the player he used to be. It's a real shame to see. West Brom, I've gone with the lad Pereira. What a play he is. The goals he scored, who was it against now? Against Wolves, when West Brom beat Wolves. He scored a penalty, didn't he? And was it a free kick? I believe so, I might be wrong on that one. But Pereira is a very good young player and way too good for West Brom in a relegation fight. I think if they go down, if they're not asking too much, then he moves back to the Premier League or moves abroad. We definitely will not be sticking around at West Bromwich. There'll be no chance in hell. West Ham, and I've gone with Yarmolenko, Andrei Yarmolenko. Okay, he's a little bit not always the fittest, not always injury free, but he's a very, very good player. There's a lot you know, and too good to just sit on the bench week in, week out, every bloody week at West Ham. And they want to bring in other players. Now we know that they don't have a lot of money to spend apparently, so getting his wages off the contracts of the wage bill would be a good move for West Ham. Now Wolves, I mean I live in Wolves, I want Wolves to do well and I really like this lad, but he's too good to be on the bench week in, week out. This season has really seen the rise of Pedro Neto. Him and Jota were sort of battling it out last season. Jota moved on to Liverpool. He's gone with now. Neto has become the main man on the left for Wolves of the front three. So Jimenez when he's fit, Neto and Traore. The man who I think should leave Wolves for his own sake, not for Wolves' sake, is Daniel Pedence. I don't think Wolves would let it happen, and rightly so. But this lad has a hell of a lot of potential. If you told me he was Wolves' main man on the left and played there 35 games this season, I wouldn't doubt you. But with Neto being there, Pedence isn't going to get that chance, and it's a bit of a shame. But he's a hell of a player. Daniel Pedence is, and it's a real shame to see that he's not going to really get the game time that he needs or deserves. Anyway guys, those are my 20 players. 5, 10, 15, 20 players who I think should leave their Premier League teams at this window. How many of these will leave their teams? None of them. None of these will leave in this window, apart from possibly Jack Rodwell if Sheffield United cancel his contract. Maybe Everton cancel Palazzi's contract. That is the only way I can see any of these deals happening. Maybe Hudson-Odoi pushes for a loan move, possibly.